Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Morgan.
Listen.
Nanu. You remember that show?
Yes.
Mindy?
Mark and Mindy.
From Morgan.
Yes. Yeah. Look, I need a couple more sips of this coffee. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Success with Dawn Nicole and
Demario.
You guys, it is Wednesday. It is hump day. Let me tell you what's in this cup today is definitely coffee. Normally we do tea, but today is a hump day coffee kind of day. Good morning, William. How you doing this morning? We are going to give an opportunity for our Good Morning Success loyal viewers to join us in today's theme, and we are so psyched up and excited about this theme. This theme today is about pivoting in flight. You guys, you're going to get your nuggets today. Good morning, Kat Corchado. But you're going to get some great nuggets out of today. We are hoping that you will tag someone, share. And you know what? This show is what, baby? Daily inspiration for the driven, right? Daily inspiration for the driven. And the driven is anyone. It's not just for business owners. It's for who, babe? Who would you describe
anyone
as driven?
who's striving to be above average.
Oh, then say that again. For anyone who's what?
Striving to be above average.
So I'm sure y'all know some above average people. So we don't want you guys to walk away thinking that this show is simply just for business owners. We love our business owners as well, but this is going to be for business professionals, emerging leaders, college students, working professionals. So come one, come all. We love doing the show. It's every morning at what time, babe?
8 a.m.
And where can they find all of the episodes?
And you can catch all of the Facebook Live replays at www.goodmorningsuccesstv.com.
That's
It's
right.
actually our YouTube channel. Go subscribe. Take a look around. This is episode 28.
Woo, give me some.
We're going to celebrate on 30.
Yes, and our coffee cheers like we always got to do. So this is the format of the show. The format of the show is extremely interactive. We together make the show. Your vibes, your energy, your feedback. We normally kick off the show starting with what is on your agenda today. We start with that because we want you guys to start with successful strategies. And guess what? You do need a strategy. It would not be strategy if it were visible. That means as you go about your day, as you talk to key people, as you send those emails, as you have those key decision-making phone calls, you will need a strategy to win. And so we love to be able to kind of politic back and forth on that. What do we have today? I know we have some exciting things going on today too, babe. What's on our agenda?
Yes.
So y'all, let us know what's on your agenda while we talk about what's on ours.
Well, of course, we're still in the DI world.
Okay, what's the DI?
We've been standing up stuff in the DI world. It's been very stressful in the DI world.
Stressful?
Yes, because you have to
Really?
figure out stuff and codes and different things. But the DI world, the digital investigation of everybody's niche market. See if it's a homicide or kidnapping that's been going on with your target market.
So this is in relationship to, you are so funny, homicide or kidnapping. So this is it. Hey Miranda, good morning, girlfriend. So you are so funny. So the DI clearance is to find out if our viewers and business owners, what happened to your target audience? Has there been a homicide committed and they're gone?
And they're gone, or has it been a kidnapping?
From your competitor.
Yes.
Good morning, Peter. Good
so
morning.
sometimes you have to investigate, where did your traffic go?
Oh, this is
And
good.
you know what's funny about the homicide? You say, well, how can I have a niche market homicide?
Easy.
Yeah, you can say the wrong thing online.
Yeah, you can.
Or you can disrespect your marketplace or your consumer base, and then you just killed
your everything you've built up. But you know what? We saw that happen. Remember, we talked about it a few episodes ago. There was a hair care line that had Service Natural Hair.
Exactly.
And they had Service Natural Hair for so long, and it had been for African American women with natural hair. And they really, that model took off for them. It was explosive. And the African American consumer, female consumer, supported this natural hair line. And then so this natural hair line said, money is good to us. Opportunity feels right. We're going to go and expand it to other races, right? And so they kind of went and expanded to other races. And when they did, in their marketing campaign, they included the new races, which, by the way, we are all for inclusion. Don't get me wrong, diversity and inclusion. But here's where they went wrong. In their new marketing campaign, they completely omitted the original market. So there were no African American women in the pictures of their new marketing campaign. It was really targeted at where they wanted to go. The problem there lies is that even if you're going to change your marketing campaign to go after different demographic of audience, make sure you're loyal to your original customer base. So include them. Hey, Dedrick, make sure you include them in that marketing. So anyway, so that was they lost. Not only did they lose fans and lose subscribers, but Twitter was very vocal. Instagram was extremely vocal, and Facebook. So you got to be careful, like you said. You can lose your audience base.
It can be a homicide in your marketing campaign.
Yeah.
And that's when you hire a DI professional. But before you hire a DI professional, you must get with an investigator as yourself to strategically figure out where did the problem go wrong.
Right.
See, my job is to find it. Your job is to discover it.
Is to discover it. All right, so real quick, I want to give some shots out if that's okay. And you guys, we have a great thing today. This is around pivoting in flight. Will you know how to pivot in flight? And we're going to talk about pivot, and it's so important. We're going to set this up in just a moment. But Kat Corchado says she is working on her open house for Sunday. For the Welcome Veterans Project. So Kat, love Kat. She's one of our Grow Getter clients. Kat is building a business for veterans where they can thrive in the first 30 days of transition. Love what we got going on with Kat. So Kat, that sounds good. Jamie says true about losing the audience base, or the homicide to the audience base. Dedrick Silver joined us, and I have to pay homage to Dedrick because I talk about him all the time. You probably don't realize. I mentioned Dedrick a couple of episodes ago where I talked about this emerging leader coming to TIAA-CREF and his first day of work, and how, we talked about the dress code, and I asked Dedrick, and Dedrick, I don't even know if you know that I did this, but hey, Pero in the house. Pero took his secret sauce. Good morning, Pero. And I hope I'm saying it right, Pero. If I'm not, please correct me, because I love what you got going on. But Dedrick, I used you a couple of days for an example. Dedrick has it going on, you guys. He's an emerging leader. He's very determined. I was a little bit of a tough manager on Dedrick, and he proved, and he's popping now, and we're so proud of Dedrick. Dedrick, thanks for joining. But in the news, what's in headline news, my love?
Oh.
Yes.
It's crazy. And I know you may be tired of hearing this name in the media. And when you hear a name consistently in the media, that's when you know that they need to pivot in flight. Once again, I took you to London and told you some news.
Yeah.
About one particular company. In that same company, I took you to Asia and told you some news.
Yes, you did.
Now we're going to bring it back home to San Francisco. Uber.
Oh, God.
Y'all remember that episode? Uber.
A couple episodes ago, yes.
Uber. It's in the news again, but this time,
cutting edge news.
The cutting edge news is David Bunderman resigns from the Uber board. Why? Because he made a sexist remark during one of the board meetings, and the board got upset, and chaos broke out.
And this was just yesterday.
Yes, human resource got involved, and and he's saying, well, I didn't really feel like my words was going to take it there. He said a sexist remark against women. And as you know, that's been the reoccurring thing in Uber.
I was just going to set it up and say they've been struggling with being in headline news around sexual harassment.
Yes, sexual harassment and a lot of
Cat, pay attention here.
So, what I'm seeing is not only is Uber being in the news a lot.
Right.
Around a particular subject. But the news is reporting Uber a lot.
You notice that
certain subject.
They're a target now? Does anyone realize that?
That's where I was going.
When you put yourself out there like that, even if you have one incident, people start coming for you more. It's almost like it's a magnet, something in the universe where people start, they focus on you, the spotlight. Same thing happened with Bill Cosby. But go ahead, I digress.
Oh yeah, Bill Cosby was in the news today too. But we talked about that yesterday, I believe, and that's good. But I agree with you when you're saying that it's a target. It's almost like, and it flows right along with our subject today.
Yeah.
Once you have a bad, I guess, review,
it just attracts other ones.
And then you throw it out there, and it makes. It creates ratings for the companies that put out that review, saying that you got all this bad publicity. It creates ratings. And once you start creating ratings for negativity, everybody's
like an X on your back.
Yes, everybody's gunning for you. So I say with that, Uber needs to pivot in flight. They need something great to happen on their side to make them become the thing that they was to everybody. Absolutely. Everybody was Ubering. Now, they're going to create this little...
reputational damage.
You're going to feel some type of way. I got a long way to go, but I want to get Uber, but I don't want to be harassed.
Well, we're going to talk about pivoting in flight. So what do you guys think about that? This is what trips me out, is that this was a private, let me set this up. This was a private boardroom meeting yesterday in San Francisco. Okay, you and I were probably out doing our day-to-day business stuff. They have a private meeting. The guy says something insensitive. One woman said, hey, now that more women are joining the board.
She said, her statement was that putting women on the board would draw in more women to Uber. And he said, well, no, that'll just mean it'd be just more talking.
Now, that was insensitive. Now, you might think it, and see, that maturity is, let me just really quickly define it, because the other day I defined what stupid is. Y'all, I'm not being mean. There's actually a definition for stupid. It means being presented with the facts and still believing a lie. Stupid. All right, so let's talk about maturity for a second. Maturity is the ability to think things that you have enough maturity not to say every single thing that you think. I personally, and I know we've all been in this, we've all lived through a point in our lives where we just probably said things without, I know I did at least, and I've been fired from jobs because I said things, or it's really come back to me when I was younger in my 20s. Real quick, can I just tell you how I was fired on my birthday. Actually, I was fired on my birthday. No kidding.
That was a birthday.
It was bad. It was bad. I was living in Atlanta, and I had a lot to learn because half of me was really cocky, and then the other half thought when people said we want the truth, I thought they really wanted the truth. Seriously, I was easily lured into that. And see, in corporate America, no, they don't really want the truth, right? Just being honest, as an employee. And so I was working, and it was a couple of days before my birthday that incident had happened, and then on my birthday I was fired. But what happened is they had come to us and they said, listen, we're going to have an honest meeting with the other team. One team was sales and we were underwriters or something else. And she said, we're going to have an honest boardroom meeting to address the concerns. And I was like, yes. Finally, right? I was all game for it. And then they said, now, when you get in there, I want you guys to be honest. It's okay. This is a safe environment. And I was like, yes, thank you. All right, so naive. I was I think I was 24 or 25. We went into that boardroom meeting. And first, the problem with me, though, I was a little cocky. They went around the room. Everybody said their part. And then I said, I have a question. And I thought this was so profound. And I said this to the salesperson in front of, the problem is I did this in front of their staff. You can't do it like that, y'all. And I said, are you all training those loan officers? And everyone goes, I said, yes. Are you giving them necessary training? Because what we're seeing is that the files are completely messed up. It's like they've had no training at all. And the lady just said, yes, we trained them, right? And next thing I know, a couple days later, on my birthday, I thought they were giving me a birthday card.
They did.
But no, they called me in the office and said, your remarks and your questions were a little insensitive. And for that reason, it's created some contention. You have to go. That's when I first learned you cannot be as honest as you're always thinking. You think things, you cannot always say it. So it trips me out that meeting just happened yesterday and made headline news. I think that's crazy.
That is trip. And before you read that right there, I'm gonna just go back to Borderman for a minute. I found this very interesting.
Yes.
He says, I do not want my comments to create distraction as Uber works to build a culture of which we can be proud. I need to hold myself to the same standards that we're asking Uber to adopt. Therefore, I have decided to resign from Uber's board of directors effective tomorrow morning. And this is what's the most interesting thing about it. He is one of Uber's investors.
Oh, ouch.
So,
ouch.
I would say to be continued because Uber has been in the news 3 times in less than 2 weeks. From different countries, and I believe that there's something going for Uber because they was rising so fast, making a lot of money. A lot of people jumping in.
Wait a minute, you just said something. Isn't that always the case, you guys? And then, by the way, it's payroll. Payroll, thank you. I'm sorry. Payroll says, great house distinguished restore is what it means. Thank you, Payroll. The secret sauce was really cool. I was very impressed with the format and flow. Thank you, Payroll. Payroll took his secret sauce yesterday. You guys go to www.takeyoursecretsauce. Find out your success factors in your business and entrepreneurial career. Payroll is an emerald sauce. So exciting stuff. Mm-hmm.
Emerald sauce, the givers of life.
Yeah,
to the
world. Contributors to the world. The world can't exist without the emeralds. That means that their strong point is quick connectivity to people. So Payroll, you probably read your feedback report, and you can probably see that a lot of it is true. You are definitely a connector, a giver. You relate quickly to people. People are automatically drawn to you. They're attracted to you. So definitely go see what your secret sauce is, everybody. I don't want to give too much away, but Payroll, that's a very strong sauce that you are. The world cannot exist without the emerald sauce. So.
He has a great story to tell. I'm familiar a little bit with his story, but we most definitely have to hit you up on that one day soon.
Would love to. But I want to talk about something. So today's topic, we're going to talk about pivoting in flight. And we were recently recognized in a magazine, and I don't know if you guys caught it, but can I mention that really quick before we go into the topic? We were mentioned in the Charlotte Business Resources magazine on Monday. So if you get time, go to charlottebusinessresources.com. Our company was interviewed, and we made the interview, and we were recognized basically as leading entrepreneurs through their secret sauce. And in the article, we talked about the importance of pivoting in flight. So please, again, go to charlottebusinessresources.com to check us out. Look in the blog section, and you'll see our article about us leading entrepreneurs through secret sauce.
You actually did a great job in that interview there.
I'm sorry, I couldn't.
I said you did a great job in that interview right there.
Andrea.
People already know that she is the talker because she talks correctly. I am the one that you might not want to put in too many magazines and too many articles. I'm good for a couple of sentences that you can print. The rest of the stuff you might have to put in your private issue.
Sorry.
Well, I'm just saying they need to know what salt and pepper is. You know what I'm saying?
Which one of us is salt and which one is pepper? You're pepper. I'm salt.
No, you pepper.
No, baby.
Because you can be a little hot, but see, salt sometimes can be a little bitter. Too much salt on your food can give you high blood pressure. That's me. I give you high blood pressure.
So, but in the article, we do talk about pivoting in flight. We're going to talk about it now. By the way, what is on your agenda? While we begin this discussion, let us know, what do you have planned for your day? We'd love to talk about it. Go ahead, baby.
And I got to throw this in there because if I don't, my man Peter will be mad.
Uh-oh. We don't want Peter mad.
I had already thought about this, and this is for you today, Peter. The word of the day is contracts.
Is what?
Contracts.
Contracts.
Yes.
Okay.
When you're doing business with people, you must put them on a contract. The days of handshaking and words to words are over.
Okay.
Back in the day, they used to do it like this.
Yes. I'll be there.
I will do this deal.
Thank you.
And they could walk away and live off of that for life. But in 2017, if you don't have it in black and white, it's not right.
But I'm gonna go a step further, and I promise y'all we're gonna get to the theme. But I'm gonna go a little bit further. Contracts. Some contracts. Let me tell you. A contract is good, but if you don't have a way to enforce it, you still have to enforce it. Because what happens when they breach the contract? There's little old you, right? Are you going to spend money to go get an attorney to enforce it? So a contract is great, but you also have to have a means of enforcement. And so just a FYI, we use some legal alternatives because sometimes attorneys might not be in your budget. And I'm not shouting out anything in particular, but I'm just saying Legal Shield is a good small business alternative to, or if you have an attorney. I know Attorney Anitra is good too. So go ahead. You're wanting to read what Payroll said.
Oh, I was letting you finish on the contract.
Okay, so just real quick, have a way to enforce the contracts as well, because people will try it.
But the bottom line of that thing of it is, put it in some type of writing.
Definitely.
Not just for your protection, but even for your customer's protection.
Definitely.
Because you need to show a benefit on both sides with with that contract
So
today.
payroll says Uber is trying to avoid bankruptcy behind the scenes. They can only maintain by growing. Same problem Spotify and others are having. Thanks for that powerful. Let me see that powerful feedback. It wouldn't be so clear without you all. Oh my God, payroll! I'm about to. You better come here, boy. Payroll. Okay, I'm gonna act right. I'm gonna behave. Payroll, thank you so much.
And that's right, Tammy. Put it in writing. And
yes.
Peter say dealing with them now. Slow
but sure. But you know what? And see, y'all gonna make us get derailed. Okay, I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna be quiet. We're gonna get to the theme. Okay. Guess who got breached so badly in their original contract? If y'all seen the movie The Founders, guess who? McDonald's. If you have not seen that movie is an excellent example of how you can get, I'm trying to think of a nice word and not a bad word. You can get jacked up in your own invention. Because if you go back and look at the movie, they had contracts. Remember?
Yes.
Two brothers out in California created McDonald's. And actually it was MacDonald. One was Mac and one was Donald. Seriously, that's where the name came from, Mac and Donald. And this third party entity, who is now the founder, came in and did his own thing and loved it so much. And this is why you do have to be careful. Because he loved it so much that he took their idea and he
found a loophole in the contract.
Kicked them out.
And went to massive franchising the business and basically told them that y'all just responsible for the one store that y'all created.
Listen,
I got all the rest though.
But then put a store right. It's so dirty. Let me tell y'all something. Business, I love y'all, but business can be so cutthroat. Look at that. That movie was such a banger for lessons learned because it really showed you how you can birth an idea and unwillingly have it pulled from you. That thing was snatched from them, and even with the contract, this third-party gentleman said, bump your contract. Oh, and here's a loophole in your contract. And he went on. So today, his family, the third-party person, is filthy rich. Mac and Donald probably work at Kroger or Walmart somewhere. Their family. And go and see the movie. It's called The Founders. Really good.
It was a trip, though. Because all the McDonald's that you see now are not... That's not from the operation from the original
owners. They didn't even want that. They didn't even want to grow. Let me... Y'all about to... I'm sorry.
I know.
Go ahead, babe. Go ahead, babe.
Summer lumber. I tell you. But I tell you what, every time you eat or drink coffee
from McDonald's, know that it was ganked.
Know that it was robbed. It was robbed
from the original owners, which is really sad. Yes. Which is really sad.
But I wanted to throw one more thing on there.
Yes, my love.
Anybody have read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Rich Dad Poor Dad. Speak. Give us your comments.
When they talked to the owner of McDonald's, and you know they were talking to the third party. They asked why was McDonald's everywhere, and he said he wasn't interested in selling burgers.
Say it, baby.
He was interested in real estate.
Y'all don't hear. Wait. They don't. So hold on. Peep the game, and you guys. I'm excited today. Understand what happened. The original owners had a burger business in mind. They didn't care about it going national. They wasn't concerned with it going national. They just wanted to stay in their humble abode and sell burgers. This third party had a vision that was real estate focused. That's where the real money is. So what happened, babe? Go ahead.
He said that he was interested in real estate. So therefore he said, pay attention. McDonald's sits on prime real estate in every city around the U.S. and now outside of the U.S. He said, so therefore, if McDonald's was to go out of business, he still owns that land. He can do whatever he wants to do with it.
Y'all got to see it. The movie is like, it will blow you away because as entrepreneurs and creators of things, we were sitting there like, they can't do that. Remember, we kept saying, they can't do that.
But they did.
And they did it. They did it. So, have a contract, but more importantly, enforce it. And this is also important. And then we're going to go to pivot. Okay, if you are going to have an affiliate, a third-party affiliate or a third-party partner, it is so imperative that you don't stay localized to where you started, but you have an enforcement agreement in place, some oversight. And what I mean by that, you all, is it's never going to work out in your favor if you are located in California. Somebody flies out from, let's just say, New York, okay, and says, hey, I want to take your vision to the next level. Let me emulate what you're doing in California. And you say, cool, and you're hands off. What you must build into the contract is an oversight opportunity. That means, well, this is how this game is going to work. I am going to be involved up until a certain point. So there's going to be proof of concept that you can respect our original model. We're going to be checking on you. We're going to be holding you accountable. I will be out there. So smart money says you never let somebody go full gambit right out the gate. You work with them lock and step. The original owners should have flown out to the East Coast to oversight, to ensure. You got to see about your business. You got to see about it. You don't just trust it. You don't just trust it like that. Even with our program, our first couple of workshops with our affiliates, we're going to be there. We're going to probably run the workshops with them to show them how it's done, to ensure the brand is protected. It's called Protect This House.
That's right.
Listen.
Y'all don't let y'all kids move out of town with strangers. Just take my little 6-year-old with you.
Sure.
Yeah. Go raise my 6-year-old, and I'll check on him later. Hopefully he gets a job and I make more money off of it.
Go see it. It's called The Founder. All right, let's talk about pivoting in flight. First of all, this is so good. This is the time of the show where you get a pen, you hit record, you share the video. So first of all, let's establish, what is pivot?
I was just about to ask that. You must have felt my spirit.
I felt your energy, darling.
I was just about to say,
with that money green on, looking like new money, baby.
Well, that's the only way I can afford to go.
Oh, stop it. You better say it again. All right, listen. Pivot in flight. This is really, really important. So the word pivot means to change direction. But more importantly, when you read the textbook definition, it says to turn on one foot. This is deep. See, turning on 2 feet would be ideal. Y'all hear me on this. This is good. The ideal way to make a spin or a turn, to change directions, would be with perfect balance. It would be with 2 feet. But the word pivot does not say that you're changing with 2 feet. This means you're changing hurriedly. This means you're changing as a result of. This means quickly. Some of us are waiting for the right opportunity to change. It's time for you to change when you know change is needed, instead of waiting on the opportunity. Let me tell you something about change. Change does not need to be televised, but the results will be. I'm going to say it again because it drives me crazy. And we all have seen it. When people get on Facebook or Twitter or wherever and say, I have decided to get off Facebook. I'm changing. I have decided. Why are you televising it? Right? Just think about it. The revolution will not be televised. Your change doesn't need to be televised. It doesn't even need to be calculated. If you know that change is needed, and that's the real question, how do I know in my business, Dawn Nicole, how do I know when it's time to change? How do I know the difference between being patient, waiting on the reaping, waiting on a campaign to give me results, versus it's just not working? It ain't working. Lauryn Hill, right? So how do you know when it's time to change? But most importantly, how do you change in flight? It's called pivot. Pivot means to change on 1 foot. So I want to talk about that for a second, because a lot of us are already in a place where we feel, okay, it's time to do something different. I need different results, but we don't know how to go about that. We think that it's some orchestrated, well-calculated plan, right? I will change once spring break is over. Yes. I will start Monday. We've all done that. In fact, I've seen a production company that says my diet starts Monday. That's the whole name of their production company, right? So I'm going to tell you something. Why is change hard when you're in it? Because when you're inside of something difficult, it feels like fighting a shark from the inside of his mouth. Let that marinate. It feels like I'm already in it. How do I fight it from the inside out? How do I fight a shark from the inside of his mouth? How do I change in flight? So a lot of people, again, are waiting on this calculator. It's going to be this big press release. I have to wait until the fall. I have to wait until the kids move out. I have to wait until my divorce. Let me tell you something. You don't have to wait. It's called pivot. Pivot is the act of, I want you to come here with me. Since the definition of pivot means to spin or change on 1 foot, that means the other foot has to be doing something. That means the other foot is grounded. So I'm going to give you a real life example. Let's pretend that you are a boutique shop. I don't know why I always pick boutique shop because it's a brick and mortar. You're a boutique shop. Hey, Monica, good morning. You are a boutique shop and your sales are just through the roof. And you have two decisions. You could keep on marketing to the same audience, doing what you've always done, getting the same result. Or you can wake up one day and face the reality that we need to change some things, right? We need to change some things. Some people would say, Demario, and you've seen this, well, I don't want to change because I'm going to mess up and confuse my brand. You know, go ahead.
I'm just going to let you go. Just go ahead and speak because.
Okay, I know.
I'm thinking of some salt to put on that statement.
But look, check this out. Well, I don't want to change, Dawn Nicole, because I don't want to. What if I confuse my brand? Oh, you mean all 3 of your loyal customers? See, I'm joking with you because that happened to me when I was an artist. Remember I told you my name used to be a different name. I'm not, but it was a different name, and the person told me at the label that I think we need to change the brand and the image. And I said, what about my current customer base? So stupid. I was like, oh my God, I was so naive. And he said, oh, you mean all 3 of them? Your mom, your son, and your daughter Zaria? My point is this. It doesn't matter if it's not working. So the question is, how do I then change it? How do I pivot? So I want to go here with you. Some of what you guys are faced with is holding down the current model. So here's what that looks like. It's a balancing act. The balancing act, remember, the pivot by definition means to spin, to change on one foot. So what do you do with the other foot? The other foot holds down the current situation, right? Because at some point, some money is better than no money. So you hold down the existing model, but pivot means you must sacrifice. Because with the other foot, you're working all night. Watch this. Some people aren't willing to do this sacrifice, and they're waiting for change to be convenient. Baby, change ain't convenient. Change is not convenient. Change is not convenient. It means probably new logo, new cards, a new message, but it's worth the sacrifice. So this is what I'm saying. One foot must hold down the existing model for now, temporarily, but you're going to have to pull a second shift, a third shift. What do I mean by that? Tech companies do it all the time, but you have no idea. You take Apple, right? Or you take Google. You take Facebook even, and we know this because we've studied the story and we research, okay? What these companies do, when things aren't working, guess what happens? After a board meeting, a call is made to the staff, right? And when I say a call, I mean someone goes on the staff floor full of text and says, guys, this weekend, pack your bags, let your loved ones know that you're going to be working all night. You're going to pull an all-nighter. So people's natural response is, what? We worked all day and then we got to turn around and pull an all-nighter? Do you know why they have to pull an all-nighter? And this happens all the time in the tech world. You don't believe me? Go research it, okay? What happens is this. Change and pivot is necessary, but we can't disrupt the current operation yet. The other foot holds down the current operation, but then sacrifice happens, and it's usually at night or on the weekend hours, okay? So this is where the pivot happens with the other foot. So we're turning around with the other foot. Because see, some of us, let me tell you why, some of us are going to say, well, how can I change when I have this current model? I have current customer. People are always making excuses. I know we do. We make excuses because change takes responsibility. Change takes commitment. Change takes some sacrifice. And so if you're waiting for it to be convenient, it's because you don't want to endure the sacrifice. But what the sacrifice looks like, you all, in business when it's time to pivot is doing what you have to do by day, but being willing to put in some midnight oil. It happens at night. It happens behind the scenes. The change won't be televised, but the results will be. So pivoting is changing in flight, and that's what those people are doing that you're not. Are you staying up all night? Are you saying, okay, Demario, you know what, baby? This is not working, so we're going to, by day, this is how this is going to go. We're going to service our current operation, but tonight, we're going to pull 3 nights of just going wild and crazy with the new model. We're pivoting. We're using one foot to spin, and that's what it means. Go ahead, my love. I know you have some feedback.
Oh, well, you hit on a lot of it, because I'm going to tell you that it's you know, you very good job there, because you actually hit on some of the things that I probably would say. Because the major thing of it is why people are afraid to pivot, just like you said. They feel that they have a customer base See, the reason that you probably want to change or should change is because you have a fantasy that you are actually bigger than what you are in the marketplace. I told you I'm salt, you know, but that's the problem with why we're afraid to pivot. We get a couple of business page likes, like, you know, 100.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
We get a couple of business page likes. We put up a post or even a picture, and we get a couple of likes, and all of a sudden we are rock stars.
Wow.
But I'm gonna tell you how you can measure the truth of your business.
How, babe?
You want me to tell you?
The DI?
No. Okay, I'm gonna tell you how you can really measure the truth of your business that would dictate whether you need to pivot or not.
Okay.
Your bank account.
Crickets.
Crickets. Your bank account.
Say it again, babe.
How well is your business doing is based on what is inside your bank account from your business. I'm not talking about what money you pull in from everywhere else. I'm talking about from that particular model that you are working. What does the margin look like? Are you profitable? Are you making any money at it? If it's not profitable and you're not really making the money, you need to pivot.
Yes, you can buy this Grow Getter Shaker, Tammy. But wait. I gotta ask you a question, babe. I need to ask you a question. So are you telling me that if I have 10 employees or 10 customers, and I'm excited about my 10 customers, but at the end of the month, I am still making payment arrangements, I can't afford to cover my bills, I can't afford to reinvest in my business, that there's still something wrong? Because some people are measuring success by the amount of customers that they have, but the real measure of success is the ability to not only sustain but grow financially. So is there a gap if I have tons of clients but I don't have any money left at the end of the month?
Exactly. Well, if you have tons of clients and you don't have any money left, I believe your pivoting gonna become then what you are charging.
Y'all better say it. So the problem could be that I need to revise my pricing strategy. Maybe my pricing is off.
Yes, your pricing is off, or what have you? Because you gotta look at it. It's simple math, folks. You know, 5 people, 5 clients, and whatever. I don't know if you're selling sandwiches for $2. You know, that has to equate to a profit margin.
Yeah.
Because everything you do has a profit margin. If you are doing your business day to day at wholesale prices, it's not gonna work. You have to create a profit for yourself.
Where you pay yourself.
Can we go here for a second?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to want your feedback on this. Because I think a lot of people are afraid to even say this. We as business owners are afraid to tell our consumers that we want and deserve to get paid from our service outside of the service that we're offering.
Right. Okay. So yeah, this is good stuff. So let me first of all let me do a Grow Getter Shaker to that. Okay. So first let me say this. So just to recap what I believe I heard you say, recently you and I were doing some market research. We came across a company, and this company makes no bones about it. They're very clear in saying this service starts at this. And this is our fee just to get out of bed, right?
Yeah.
This is our get out of bed fee and price. However, if you want this service added and that service added, there is an additional charge. So what you are saying is that there are people who are putting their prices out there, and either are not, their price isn't really enough to cover paying them as well as paying for the cost of the service, right? And or people are leery about saying this is my fee. My fee includes, right? So for my fee, for me to get out of bed, here's the starting price. It covers A, B, and C. If you want additional blah, 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 right, you will have to pay for the additional blah, 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 blah. I remember you and I were so impressed when we saw that company say that. We were like, what? Right? Because that's where people go wrong too, is they don't properly bake in the full cost of doing business. They'll charge a flat fee, but they don't consider their cost to purchase some of the items that they'll use to do the service.
Ooh, I've just been hit with a powerful one. I know that we're always talking to business owners, but let me talk to the working professionals.
Okay, yes.
We say job, and I think job is such a blah word.
Working professionals.
Working professionals.
Yeah.
it's a contract between you and that company that you work for. They agreed to pay you X amount of dollars for the time you agreed to invest into their company.
Okay.
8 hours a day.
Okay.
X amount of dollars an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Or however that is measured out in your business. Mm-hmm. But when you request or feel like you deserve a raise, somewhere along in your structure, you're going to have to pivot in the work process that you do. Because you can't do the same thing and get an increase in pay as you just because you're still standing there. You're either going to have to turn around, you're going to have to be more productive, or you're going to have to take on more responsibilities. You're going to have to change your whole mindset to renegotiate a new contract for your time.
I love you. I challenge that just a little bit. And Demario loves this. He loves a good debate.
Yes.
We do this all day. We have some debates in this house. Yes, but I differ just a little bit. And in either case, this is where what'sYourSecretSauce.com can help. And we'll talk about why it helps. We're always throwing the website out, but in a minute. So this is what I think. I believe when you first start, whether you're working for a company or you're working for a new client, there's the original agreement, right? There's the original scope of services. There's a statement of work, and money is exchanged for a service, okay? Or services. And so your first goal, whether you are a working professional or an entrepreneur, is to fulfill this service that you said you're being paid initially. Now, here's what I believe constitutes an increase, right? And this is negotiating power, is results. See, when you're first paid, you're paid just to do the job, and there's hope of results, right? I hope that you will bring me results. So it's a hope factor. This amount is just for doing it. But if you wow me, right, with your results, then we can talk increase, okay? So the first goal is to get in and do the job, but the real overarching goal for the working professional or for the entrepreneur is to prove my results. So if I don't care if I'm not doing anything extra just yet, if I turn around and I can show you undisputedly that based on the work we agreed to, I was able to cut down production times by 50%, right? I was able to implement 2 new things. So as a result of the original scope of work, if I made your life simpler, better, faster, because that's what people pay more for. Now, before I change anything in my title, I can arguably say, listen, 6 months ago when we first discussed this, you were trying me. You were trying me out, and I was trying this out for a good fit. We now know through proven data that I am worth an increase, and here's why. Because I am saving you blah, 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 blah annually. I am reducing risk by this margin. What that means is we will keep our employees longer. We will reduce attrition. That means more people will stay. That means the talent stays in-house, right? If you can make a point or an argument about your worth to the company and even break it down to a dollar amount, I believe I should be getting 10% more based on the amount of money I'm saving you, right? So and that is before I do anything extra.
Well, and I love that part of the debate. And I'm going to say you are correct in what you are saying. If
was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
If you are not just another number in the company. See, that process only works if you have an established position that can create change. But if you are on an assembly line, do not go in the HR office with that statement. Because you will be out in the parking lot. I believe that I should get 10% more. Because see, you, John, Jimmy, Carol, and Timothy, all of y'all work on the same production line. So therefore, what you have to do outside of John, Jimmy, Carol, you might have to stay a little bit longer without being asked. You might have to be the first one in the door and the last one to leave. You're going to have to change your total mindset than the rest of your line in order for them to say, hey,
this person is different.
That person right there is different. Because I pivoted my mind. Because I might have been walking out with you like, yeah.
Good morning,
it's almost 5 o'clock. We already at the door.
Yeah.
Then I might think, I want to raise.
Yeah.
Demario, you coming with us?
No. But
I'm going to stay a little bit longer.
Babe, I love you, boy. That's such a good point. And let me say this. I'm so glad that you took it there. Because what I was just getting ready to say, and I will say this and challenge anybody on it. I really believe in this statement. I don't care what you do. If you are a janitor, a maintenance worker, an admin, an assembly line worker, and you want more, I say be the best you in the lane that you are in. So you might not be a rocket scientist engineer, right, where you can enact change so noticeably. But I don't care if you're a cook at McDonald's, okay? What I'm telling you is that if you want more and you feel that you should be valued, because see, let me tell you something about value versus worth, and we talk about this all the time. We get it twisted, you guys. We own the value. You, the person speaking, the person who wants more, it is your duty, your God-given right to articulate your value, but you don't own the worth. The person on the receiving end, worth is important to them. They make the decision if your value is worth it to them. So what I'm saying is value is driven by you. You can never get paid what you're worth if you don't articulate your value, if you don't even know your own value. So this is why, and I always bring up this example, Calvin Klein designer jeans. His job is not to state the worth. People get it twisted. Worth is subjective. Worth depends on what it's worth to me. It might be worth it to you, but not worth it to me. See, we get it twisted. We keep trying to push worth. We have to push value. Value versus worth. Andrea, this is an age-old topic that we've been teaching. So I'm going to say it again, and I dare anyone to challenge it. You have to state your value. It is up to you. Pretend you are the Calvin Klein designer. You have these great pair of jeans. You put the price tag. The price tag is the value. These are valued at $299, and I dare you to determine if that price is worth it to you. See, the consumer will dictate the worth to them. This is why two women walk past and they see those $299 jeans and they say, man, that is really worth it. Look into this. One wash, no iron, great material, lasts 3 years. This is so worth it. Another woman walks by and sees the same price tag and says, this isn't worth it to me. Because you, my friend, you don't dictate the worth, you dictate the value. That means it is up to you to properly articulate your value. You want to be paid what you're worth? You want more opportunities? You want to open more doors in less time? Then you absolutely must understand your value, and you must be able to argue it when challenged, state it competitively. So I don't care if you work at a drive-thru, I don't care if you work at an assembly line, I don't care if you work in a service-based field. If you have a proven track record for making something better, simpler, faster, after a period of time, I'm not talking about 2 weeks, man, it's been 2 weeks and I'm doing better, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking something that can be proven, data analysis. If you can show that by you working in that drive-thru, you increase production time, you have improved the morale, customer service, look at what I've done, you have to gather those value factors and present it and say, here's why I'm worth more, because my value is A, B, C, and D. And if they don't see it, you got to go somewhere where they celebrate your worth. So that's my thing. You position that. I call that your wow factors. Dismiss the fluff and find the wow factors, okay, that will get you in more doors. And you do have the right, I don't care what role or what industry, if you can make something better, faster, simpler. And it's like you said, I come in early. But this is the thing that people, I'm going to go a step further, because you hear me talk about benefits, right? You can't just say, I go in early. You have to say, I go in earlier than everyone else, and as a result, I'm able to. You always have to do the so what. What's the so what of every situation? When people just say, I go in early, DeMario, they stop short of the benefit. It is your job to not only state what that is, that value, but as a result of my value, as a result of me being a person who values being on time, I go in and I clean up. I minimize the risk. I make sure there are no safety issues. That means that you have less reports with OSHA.
But would you believe that somewhere along your path that took a pivot?
Yes.
You had to pivot your mindset. So today's topic is knowing when to pivot in flight.
In flight.
So, and that goes a long way. That goes across your working relationships, your working profession, your personal relationship, everything. You have to understand when to pivot.
And what does pivot mean again, babe? For anyone who
pivot just means to spin around, go the opposite direction. You know, it's like you got to twist. Well, you know, and I was really thinking about that. Coming from the military side, you know, when you say pivot, you say on one foot, and you was talking about the definition and different things. And I realized that it's hard. Well, it's kind of impossible to pivot with both feet.
You better. This shaker is getting ready. You better say it again. It's impossible to do what, honey?
Pivot with both feet. You cannot do it.
Okay.
It is impossible. So therefore, you know, it's important that you realize when to pivot, and it's never too late.
Right.
It's never too late to make a realization and say, hey,
it's time for a change.
This not working.
But babe, do you understand? And I have to. I'm so passionate about this because I have done this, and I've seen women do this and men. Right? I'm not even talking about business right now. A lot of people are waiting for the time to be right. A lot of people are waiting for convenience. We've all heard a person say, well, I'm going to break up with him after the cruise. See, we got this cruise scheduled. And so I'm going to break up with him after the cruise. I'm going to break up with him after my birthday or Valentine's Day. Well, I'm going to break up with her after I start my new job, right? Just think about this for a second. We're waiting for things to be right before we make the change. But I heard a very wise person say, change when you know change is needed rather than when change is convenient. You don't do yourself any favors. If you don't love him today or love her today, you won't love her after the cruise. In fact, you'll have a miserable time on the cruise, right? You have to be true to the universe. The universe is watching, and we always talk about the energy and what you put out. It sees you cheating. See, cheating is when you know better, but you do differently. Y'all not ready for this today. They're not ready. So what happens is people try to change with 2 feet. When pivot is to spin on 1 foot. Y'all don't. Pivot is the take action now. Create the opportunity right now. Don't wait. I remember when I was leaving corporate America. And I was trying to find out the right timing. And I was like, oh, I know what. I'll wait till February because that's when they give us our bonuses. Right? Right? Y'all know trying to master that annual bonus thing. I couldn't even last. It was the burning desire to be more was in me so deeply. I couldn't even last. I had to pivot. Pivot is 1 foot. Right? Is fighting the shark from the inside of his mouth. You're in it. Now, how do I change it? What do I do? And so we talked about that, right? For people who just joined, what did we say that they should do, honey? Because some people are so worried about holding down their current operation that they just don't know how to start and enact change. What did we say that they should do?
They just need to change. You know.
They
need to change.
Just do it.
Pharaoh says, what's that saying? When you get to 30% knowledge, take full action?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I would even chuck the percentage level of it can go down to 10. You know. When you know, when you know you're not getting what you want, and that's the thing, you're not getting the results that you want. And I will say this right quick.
Yeah.
This is so personal to anyone. It should be to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know.
You know when.
You know.
Yeah.
Nobody has to tell you.
You know.
No one has to paint the pretty picture for you. You just know.
Yeah.
Whether in business, personal, you just know.
Yeah.
Trust it.
Yeah.
Trust it, because you basically you look at that bank statement after that month in business, and you like, okay, well, we just need to. Well, if I just sell more mugs. People, I just need to get more people to see my mug. Your mug is ugly.
Honey.
No, I'm sorry. They need to hear it. I'm like Kevin O'Leary on Shark Tank. Your mug is ugly. Change the design of the mug. It's not that more people need to see how ugly it is. It's the fact that you need to change the design, and more people will tell other people about how pretty the mug is. I tell you what, that's just basically what it is. It's knowing when to pivot.
But I want to ask you all this, because I really want to get you all's results. How long do you go before you come to the realization that it's not working? I want to just think about that for a second. How long do you carry it forward, right, before you come to the realization it's not working? And I have some feedback for, some advisement, but I really want to know what you all have done. And babe, I'll ask you, even with the digital marketing standpoint, which is really, your focus, how long do you think a person should push a campaign not getting any results before they should pivot?
Well, the truth being that, when you do any digital marketing campaign, you must give it some time. And, textbook would tell you, 90, 180 days to actually judge the true marketplace. But
don't you A/B test it first to
you
get
do
an
that,
idea?
you do a 30-day testing to see what's going on, see if you get any hits. It's like fishing. You throw it out there. If you don't get no bites,
yeah, might be in the wrong pond.
Yeah, because in the midst, pivoting sometimes doesn't mean a complete change in direction. Mm-hmm. It just might mean a change in your presentation.
Yeah.
So therefore, you have to understand that side, but be willing to change.
Yes.
To find the best thing. See, a lot of us, we're not willing to change to find the best thing to help us.
Well,
because we're just I know how I want it.
Yeah,
we
a lot
see
of
that
us
on Shark Tank all the time. This is how I want it.
Well, in fact, one of the things I'll say, and then we can close if that's cool with you, honey, is that one of the things we've introduced into our process is we start the testing earlier. We start testing because an old way of kind of doing digital marketing, or some ways that people do, is when the campaign starts, they start the testing right there in the live launch. We, in our process now, we start early in the discovery phase. One of the things we do will be the A/B testing so that we can get a feel of which niche market is responding most. From there, you build the rest of the campaign around those results. So make sure that you are doing some market testing, even if you don't have money, right? Or you don't have budget to pay for digital marketing A/B testing. Some things you can do yourself is take a poll. You can take a poll on social media platforms targeted towards what you believe your 3 niche markets are. You ask them questions and you see the responsiveness. And the responsiveness is a good indicator that this is going to be a good niche market for you. So that's something that you can do at no charge. So
yes, Andrea say yes, she know. We know, Andrea. We know. We all know.
And Andrea, we're talking to Andrea tonight. Very excited. Andrea's going to be doing her competitive advantage and secret sauce through a coaching session. So listen, this has been great. We ask that you all please share this video. Go to www.goodmorningsuccesstv.com. This is episode
28.
So we talk about all kind of wild and crazy, wonderful business things and success-driven things. Thank you so much. Do you have anything else to add, my love?
Invite your friends, your family, your co-workers, your lovers, or whoever.
Your lovers?
Well, lovers. We're lovers.
Honey, oh my God.
What was lover a bad
word?
I'm sorry. Well,
no,
invite everybody you know to go take their secret sauce. What'sYourSecretSauce.com. Find out what's your relationship.
Yeah,
business,
the compatibility.
Personal.
Yeah.
Find out, hey, I didn't know you was a Unagi. Oh,
well,
wow. That's why you and I should go paint a picture together.
Well, if there's a lot of confusion in your household, and I'm not trying to get personal, but we do have a personal side of What's Your Secret Sauce where we've been paid to do it for couples. Understanding maybe there's an aioli sauce in the house with you and there's a cocktail sauce. Those two kind of... Right? So understanding the secret sauces is really important. They really, even though we call them sauces, there's a focus on success factors. It will explain a lot of contention. If you're a softer person and you're in a house with a very hardcore kind of a person, even though they love you, but they have an abrupt delivery, the sauces will make sense and will tell. But we don't stop there. We also talk about what to do to become more compatible. So unlike some other different programs, we're not only going to help you discover it, but we're going to help you develop it and market it. And even in love, sometimes you just need to be reminded of a person's value. All right?
Ooh, what's your value proposition?
So go to what'sYourSecretSauce.com. Take your secret sauce for free. We will be pulling it off for consumers at the end of June because it is going to a commercial market. So make sure you take it now while it is free. Most of the people on this broadcast, we know their secret sauce. Andrea is an emerald sauce. Peter is an unagi sauce. Pero is an emerald sauce. Terry is a cocktail, so on and so forth. Do you know your secret sauce? It could be the key to your repeatable recipe for success. Until next time, stay on the grow with Dawn Nicole and Demario. Take care.